welcome. I'm Alison from Alison Rushing Arts and Crafts, and today I wanted to show you some cute little Easter cards that I've been making from a stamp set from the January to June Stampin' Up mini catalogue called Welcome Easter. So the cards that I've got for you is this very cute little chick, the little bunny, and the little lamb, making up quite a cute little set. So let's get on and show you how I made them. Starting off with some Whisper Wipe cardstock, measures 21 centimetres by 14.9 centimetres, scored at 10.5 centimetres and folded in half. You will then need a piece of Whisper White, 13.9 by 9.5 centimetres, and for the bunny one we've used the Costa Cabana from the Brights collection, measuring 14.4 centimetres by 10 centimetres. The little chick one, again same size card, this time using Pineapple Punch from the 2018-2020 in colour. So ideal time to either purchase before it retires in June, or to use up any stocks that you've still got of it. So either way is good. And for quickness, I've already coloured in the little background for this one. I'll show you how to put that all up together in a moment. And the little sheep was, again, same card size, done on Grapefruit Grove, again from the 2018-2020 in colour. Again, ideal to either use up any stocks that you've already got, or to purchase them before they retire. Right, and again with this one, I've already pre-prepped the backgrounds. So with the couple that I've already pre-prepped, let's get on and stick those together. So just using some Tombow multi glue, and these were coloured using some alcohol markers, the Stampin' Blends. And just line that up. The card base. Line it up. There we go, and he's ready to go. And same again with the Pineapple Punch piece. Pop those on. Make a nice even layer. Around the outside. And let's stick him on a card base. There we go. Right, that's two of your cards prepped. Okay, but what we'll do is I'm going to show you the colouring for the background using the Costa Cabana one for the rabbit. So I'm going to zoom in just so you can see. Sorry if there's some camera shake, but my usual stand I broke earlier, so we're on a little bit of a wobbly one. Let's give it a go. Can you see that? Right, I'm using Memento, which is obviously, as it says on the pack, ideal for alcohol markers, so that you don't get the bleed that you get with other black pads. And taking from the stamp set, where is it? The little grass, the bee, the leaf and the little flowers. We're going to create the background for our cards. So just going along the bottom, about ½ centimetre up, just stamp, moving the ink slightly as you go. Then we're going to change and use the leaf, and the leaf goes up here on the left hand side of those. Well, a couple of little cute bees for summer and spring, buzzing along. 1, 2. So it's a nice quick card for prepping the base. And I think we'll put our flowers over there. Then we're going to take a fine liner pen, or Memories and More pen that you've got, and around the outside, just to frame it, I'm going to run some little dashes all the way around. The outside. Gives it that nice loose drawn sort of look as well. Okay, so that's our framed picture. And then we're going to, for the colouring of the grass, I'm going to use the Stampin' Blends, and this is the Granny Apple Green in light and dark. So starting with my light, using the brush end, I'm just going to colour up, not doing anything special, just giving it a light wash of colour, just to make it look. This is a nice cheerful bright green, nice spring grass sort of colour, sort of that fresh growth. And take it right to the edge, finish it off, no harsh lines, try and do some sort of like little wiggles. And then with your dark one, on the actual bits of stamped grass, just give them a little bit dark, just those pieces, nice and simple and quick. I'm not looking for any major blending here, we're just looking for a little bit of contrast. And then back with your light again, and then just give it a quick blend back over what you've already done, catching onto the edge of the darker green and just bringing it all in to one colour. There we go. A little buzzy bees up here. I'm just using the dark Daffodil Delight on the bullet end and just the centre of his body. Just give him a little bit of colour. And then I'm going to come down onto the flowers, and the flower centres are also going to have the dark Daffodil Delight. Oh, we missed the leaves, didn't we? Right, back to the leaves, and back to our Granny Apple Green again. So colour both leaves over here with a tiny bit of Granny Apple Green, nice and simple, and then just a touch, just to bring in a little bit of tone into that. And then our flowers are going to be Coastal Cabana Light. Coastal Cabana. Let's try Calypso Coral. Calypso Coral in light. And quick colour in there. There's nothing special, no blending needed. Nice, cute little flowers. And that is your background apart from your sentiment. So again, back to your Memento ink. Ink up your Happy Easter, and then where the bumblebee is, let's just push him down, straight up, there we go. And that's how simple the background is. Tiny little mark on there. Let's see if we can get rid of him with one of these mono erasers, sand eraser. We get a tiny little mark, there we go, gone already. Perfect. So now we can stick him onto our Coastal Cabana. And you can see the saturation through the back of your card. That's normal with alcohol markers, and that's what you would expect to see with good saturation. And you'd see even more so if I'd have blended more. So line it up onto there, and onto our cardstock. Him on. Now, as you can see, we've got 3 backgrounds ready. So we're going to move on now to the rabbit, the little sheep, and the duck. Just a bit of colouring for those. So starting with the bunny, I used light Pool Party and the dark Pool Party, and I used the ivory, the colour lifter, and I may just use, just to give him a little pinky tone, a little bit of light Calypso Coral. So starting with our light Pool Party, you can see him. I'm just going to give him a coat, a nice even coat of the light. The beauty with these markers is anybody can do this. It's a nice simple colouring, not too much blending needed. There we go. That's his little face. And Then we'll move on to the dark. We'll just give him some little bits of tones. And he's going to have his light source is going to be right in front of him, so he's going to be a little bit paler right in front. Just give him some little bit of colour. No straight lines, little wiggles, because he's got fur. So just means he looks better, blends a bit better. With that, then back to your light. And blend those so there's no sharp edges. Take it a little bit into the middle. A little bit lighter on the ears. And right to the very edge. A little bit more. And you can see colour gradually building. And then I like to just one more blend. There. Let's move on to his little body. Again, let's give him a little wash all over. Nice and simple. Apart from his little feet. There we go. And the more you put down, the better it will blend, because you'll get more saturation. So just down the edge of his little feet there, and where shadows would meet, so these dark bits just here, the creases, and his little toes. You might expect them to fall, and then a little bit under his neck. Back to the light, just to get some blending in there, not much. And then just a little bit more, and as you can see, the more you start putting down, but in layers, the nicer the blending comes through. Not looking for realistic, he's a little cartoon bunny. And then one last blend all over, just to take any harsh lines away. There we go. That's one little cute little bunny. And then we're going to go, let's try some ivory on the bottom of his feet. And inside his ears. And then just tiniest little bit. If you go with white, if you're using white and you want to make it look more white, you add the tiniest hint of colour. Normally it would be a grey, but I haven't got the grey blends yet, so I'm just going to use a tiny bit of the ivory, and then with the colour lifter just blend some of that colour out. And then it actually gives you a hint of something more white. So then I'm going to go over his little feet with a bit of Calypso Coral in the light, and his ears. Just blend those two colours together. And then I'm going to go in with the colour lifter and just dull it down a little bit. Lifts a bit of that colour off. And just makes him look a little cuter. We haven't got anything for his nose, have we? What colour can I have for his nose? Tiny bit of colour lifter in there. I know it's only tiny. There we go. And that's our little bunny done. Right, let's move on to the duck. Chick, chick. For him I used the dark Calypso Coral, one of my favourite colours, Daffodil Delight in the light and the dark. And we'll come back in with the colour lifter again as well. So let's start with the part of his body. Wrong end. Let's use the brush end. Right. So again, I'm going to go all the way around, just little circular motions. Don't want it, you want it coloured, but give it a little circular motions, you get a little bit of texture looking on it, which is what you want when you've got feathers and fur. And then I'm going to come in again with a little wibbly edge as we go around the outside of his face. Come back in with the lighter one and just keep working that. And blend that in. And we want him just a little bit darker right around the outside edge. And your layers will build it up and make him that little bit darker. And then one last blend. The paler one. Let's do his little arms and his body. Same way. Nothing too difficult. We're not looking at amazing realistic colouring. A little bit. And sometimes they give you little bits to make them look a bit more realistic. They'll give you shading on stamps, so always use that where you can as well. And again, we'll come back in. The same colour and flood that area with plenty of ink right up to the edges to help blend those. And back to the dark. You want to work fairly quickly with these. Yeah, it's not a race. Right, sorry about that. Little interruption there. Hubby coming out to see what I was doing. So he's now going to go out in his own workshop because he's busy himself at the moment while we're all on this lockdown. He's an artist himself, but got no inspiration at the moment. So he's decided, as he's also a musician, that he's going to build himself a guitar while he's on lockdown. So, and his workshop's next door to mine, which is quite nice because we've got our own spaces and a shared little bit, which I take most of it over anyway. Right, so that's his tummy and his face. Now I'm going to come in with the colour lifter and just around the centre area, circular motions again, just to lift off some of that colour, give it a little bit of a highlight. And then I'm going to go in with the dark Calypso Coral and just colour in his little plumes and his cute little feet. And tiny little beak. There we go. And that's one little chick done. So moving on from there, we've done the rabbit. We're going to have a look at the sheep. Now the sheep I'm going to do in different colours, simply because I didn't use Stampin' Blends for this one. I used some other markers that I had, but I've used the Stampin' Blends crumb cake, and actually I think he looks cuter in crumb cake than he does in the grey. So swapping those out, we're going to use the light and dark crumb cake for him, the colour lifter again, possibly the ivory, and maybe the bronze. So I'm going to start with, and the potential on this is you want him to look, you want him to try and look as white as possible, just with these little highlights, and keep the centre as white as you can. So it's just a little bit around the outside. So we'll just do his ears, a little bit of his ears, tiny bit around his woolly bit there, a little bit around his body, a little bit there. Let's get his little feet in. And these areas, obviously in here, is going to be a little bit darker because it's going to be shadow. I know he looks a little bit brown at the moment, but where's the dark crumb cake? There it is. Just looking rather cute. Just a very thin line around his outside, a little bit on his ears, and again tiniest bit. The beauty with these tips is they're so fine, you can get some lovely fine work. With these. Okay, tiniest thin bit around the outside there. Now I'm going to go back in with the light, run it along just to give it a blend. And at the moment he's looking a little bit like a little dirty sheep, isn't he? It's a bit grubby. He's been playing out in the fields maybe. Then we're going to go in with the colour lifter and just blend some of that out. It's a little bit of work with the colour lifter. The beauty with the colour lifter as well is it leaves it, if you can see, just smooths him out. And I think he needs quite a dark nose, so I'm going to go in with the bronze for his nose, and the darker that is, the more it will make the others look lighter. And I think he just needs finishing off with a dark pool party bow. Again, simple little bit of colouring. And that is them all coloured. Now what we're going to do is sparkle them up a little bit using a Winker Stella, and just literally over the whole thing. Gives them that little sparkle, and it stands out from the rest of the background. Again, it's just a case of brushing it over. Nice and easy and simple. And this really brings out, especially on the sheep, because brings out the white more. Which is ideal and just what you want. This cute little fella. There we go, I don't know if you can see that's catching it well enough or not. So then all I need to do is obviously fussy cut all of these out, but in true Blue Peter style, as we say in the UK. Here's some I made earlier, so just to save a little bit of time. And all I need to do now is get some dimensionals out. Let's pop these little guys on dimensionals. Don't know whether you can see the saturation now, turning them over. Just stick a few on that. Actually, I might use a couple of little ones, the mini dimensionals. Rabbit's feet. Oh, I can get it on properly. Just fit in there nice. So we don't want any soggy bits. And can I get them on his ears? Yeah, just angle them right. Perfect. Now bring back in our cards, and Chick was on the pineapple punch. Take off dimensionals. Look at where I want him to go. And then we got the sheep. Sorry if that's a bit off camera there. And I'm going to put him jumping around in the grass about there. And my favourite is the rabbit. So get all of his dimensional backings off. There we go. And oh, stuck to me. Let's put him about there. There we go. There's another 3. Quite simple. Oh, I'm going to get them all in. Let's see. Zoom me back out again. If I can work out how to do it. There we go. And these are the ones I did earlier, so you can see the difference with the sheep. And I actually think he looks cuter, especially with the grapefruit grove. I think he goes nicer actually be in this colour than grey. There's our little bunny one we've just done. Yeah, that one. A nice simple, oh, sorry for the wobble, little set of cards for Easter. Especially in this difficult time, it's just nice because we're not going to be able to see our relatives, or most of them, unless you're obviously living with them, with everything that's going on in the world at the moment. It'd just be nice to send some Easter cards and tell your family and friends that you're still thinking of them. So I hope you enjoyed those and like to give those a go. Thank you. Bye.